What's up, guys? It's your boy King David. I'm back at it with another video. I normally talk about retention and the process and a couple other things, and something that actually crossed my mind. So I decided to just film and create a video for you guys, and it makes a lot of sense. So just decided to get right into it on this video, and hopefully you guys like the video and subscribe or leave a comment below if you like. So here's the thing, guys, with retention and a couple of other things that happen when you're on retention, and what I started to realize is retention is mostly about controlling your lust, right, guys? You got to control the lust. So I heard from one of the newer guys on his channel. He has a decent amount of subscribers, but it makes a lot of sense, guys. You got to be almost celibate in the beginning with retention, guys. You basically have to not be with women, you know what I mean? Now you should be he said that you should be celibate for 1 to 2 years, and that makes a lot of sense, guys. If you're watching the content a lot, you know what I mean, and you're sleeping around with a lot of women and things like that, guys, you're already programmed like a majority of other men. You know what I mean? A lot of men don't see anything wrong with watching the content and stuff. And technically, you don't need retention. I think I've said this a couple of times to people or on my channel. It's you don't really need retention to be successful in this world that we live in, right, guys? Retention is a spiritual path. It's a spiritual growth mostly. And it's about controlling your lust and your desires, so you're not as lustful or animalistic, I would say. A lot of guys are in that animalistic state until they probably reach their older age, but they still are kind of like that. That's why there's a lot of older guys that want to be with younger women, you know what I mean? Really young women, and it's they're old. It's come on, you can't be 60 years old, but wanting to be with a 20-year-old or an 18-year-old. That's kind of strange to me. I think that you should at least, if you want to be with somebody who's younger, I don't think you should go past 10 years, right? I think you should be with somebody, but I don't think you should be with somebody who's, beyond 10 years younger than you, unless you're really truly in love with the person or something like that. I think that's a bit weird, you know what I mean? To each his own. So I don't judge people on my channel. I try not to. There's some things that I will say that are very weird or strange, and there's some things that I just don't agree upon. So that's just my opinion on the matter, and take it or leave it. But let's get right down into why you should be celibate, right? So the main reason why you should be celibate is because you're trying to control your lust, right? It's not even so much the fact about the videos, but the videos is fueling your lust, right? It's you get on Instagram or you get on YouTube or you get on any social platform. I feel really just a detox from social media. People always think oh, I can't go without it, but you weren't really watching it prior to before you got on social media, right? You weren't a part of that scene. So, or maybe not even a part of the scene, but just a consumer, right? You didn't watch the stuff prior to watching it. So you can go back to being the guy who doesn't watch that stuff, guys. It's not that difficult, but for other people's, it might be more difficult because they're so plugged into it, into the dopamine, guys. It's really about a dopamine reset, right? So even putting down the social media and certain sites and stuff like that is the goal, guys. Deleting the videos and whatnot is another stage to it, guys. So it's about really dopamine reset. It's not like giving it up forever, because you don't have to technically give up the videos, and you don't have to technically give up, being with women forever, guys. Like, that's not the main goal here. The main goal is to reset your dopamine. And so where your dopamine and your serotonin, they're both like chemicals in your brain, basically. And to reset those and make yourself more sensitive to certain things in your day-to-day life, you have to not do it. That's like the whole basis of it, guys. Like, not doing it is the process of like reversing it. So getting away from said thing is important as you get what I'm saying, guys, as doing the thing. It's like it's not that like watching the content is so bad, but it is kind of bad because it can lead into like a dark hole, guys. It depends on what you're watching. Like, if you're young and you don't know what you're watching, right? Like, you just like started watching it, like you're 18, right? I don't promote anybody who's under 18 watching that stuff, right? So let's say you're 18, you're a legal age, you can watch the content. Now you start looking at like more crazy stuff. Like, maybe you don't like smoke, or obviously you shouldn't be drinking or smoking, like if you're 18, guys, but I'm just saying, like, you don't do nothing. But now you can finally watch like, adult films, right? Like, that's really the only thing you can do, because you can't smoke cigarettes, you can't smoke weed, and you can't drink. You have to be 21 for all three of those. So guys, like, you're 18, now you can watch adult content. You start to watch adult content, but you get into this like rabbit hole effect, is what I like to say. A lot of other like channels say this too. It's like with anything, in life, it could be driving your car and you like to speed. It's a rabbit hole effect. Like, that's a bit harder to do all the time, simply because there's something that's governing that, you know what I mean, with police officers and whatnot, and speed roadblocks and whatnot, guys. So that doesn't really relate to obviously what we're talking about, but let's get down to it. So you start watching the content, you start watching more intense content, you start watching like stuff that is obviously strange. Now you're with your girlfriend. Like, say if you had a girlfriend, you got out of high school, you're going into college, you got a girlfriend, you guys are real cool, everything's good, and then you start watching the content. If you notice, like, a lot of girls don't really they're not interested in the same stuff that we end up watching. And some girls do go into the deep rabbit hole, but that's a bit more rare because it's more geared towards men. Like, men watch a lot of porn, right, guys? So if you're watching this stuff, you're going to get into this rabbit hole effect, and not everybody does that. Some people look at it and they're like, that's disgusting, I don't really need to watch it, or I'll watch it like every now and then or something like that. Or maybe my girlfriend watches it, but the stuff that she watches is not like what you would want to watch, but she still watches it, but she's not like too deep into it, right? Some people don't fall into that effect. Other people do fall into the effect. It's mostly if you don't have like hobbies. It's mostly if you're not like outside active, or exercising, or doing extracurricular activities, guys. Like, you want to make sure your body is not your body, just your mind is being stimulated from other things and getting your dopamine from other sources besides watching that stuff. It's too easy to get caught into the darkness of it, and you could be kind of like a recluse, guys. So, stay focused and stay vigilant on your journeys. What I like to say is the guy who was talking about being, celibate for a year and stuff like that, you technically don't have to be celibate for a year. But like, if you really think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Like, say if you were like in the rabbit hole, like you were watching all this content, you can't really break free from it, right? The idea is to break free from it. The idea is not to completely quit it forever. I mean, you can, like, that's what a lot of guys, want to achieve. But I mean, let's be realistic here, guys. Like, not everybody's going to be able to achieve said goal. Like, that's why a lot of guys end up failing within the first 7 days of retention. Most guys can go like a week at best, right, without watching anything. There's just so much things that we're attached to that even promoted, even in movies and stuff like that, you see, sexual scenes or a build up to a sexual scene, and then that could easily put you back into a relapse state. So you kind of got to like not watch basically any like media or TV and stuff like that for a while before you're able to fully break free from it, guys. So it's difficult. It's a difficult journey, and a lot of guys don't realize how difficult it is because of that. So you're deep within the rabbit hole, and what ends up happening is you decide one day that you want to break free from it. There's going to be a lot of trials and tribulations in this journey, because like you're basically changing your timeline. You're changing your path, right? You're changing what you're doing normally, and you're doing something else. And when you do that, guys, you're gonna face resistance, like, right? That's just like the first thing that's gonna happen is like you're like, hey, especially if you have a girlfriend, right, and you're not communicating with her, like, and telling her, hey, look, I really want to be I really want to cut back on releasing. Like, that would be the ideal thing to say, right? It's like, I don't want to stop sleeping with you, but I want to obviously cut back on, you know what I mean? It's like, if you're a single guy, it's easier, right? But let's say if you're with somebody, you got to have like some sort of communication with them, and so they understand like what you're trying to achieve. A lot of guys don't know their end goal, or even if they have an end goal with retention, it's like, so a lot of people believe that you're going to either be a monk or you're going to be like, you know what I mean? It's like there's either black or white, right? That's how a lot of people think. So there's so many different things that you can do with it. There's tantric. People say like Caressa, which is, I think, tantric. I'm not sure what Caressa is, but I'm pretty sure it's tantric. Tantric still burns out your dopamine receptors, guys. It's like, either way, no matter what like scenario you put in it, there will be gains and losses, right? Like, that's just how life is duality. So being a single dude and practicing semen retention and being celibate has its benefits in itself, but you can't go on it for too long unless like you want to achieve all those kind of benefits, right? If you want to fully become like basically a monk, guys, that is going to give you a lot of spiritual benefits, but then again, you're not going to have that animalistic side to you because you're not engaging in sleeping with women and stuff like that, guys. So and the opposite obviously is detrimental to you if you're releasing a lot with your woman, or if you're releasing a lot by yourself. You're going to be losing a lot of your sexual energy. It is the second most potent energy that you can carry within you, is your sexual energy. So besides, surviving energy, like, so you got to understand that, squandering it isn't really the best thing to do, and trying to realize, like, especially like a big thing you have to realize, and you get this over time with retention, is like, are you even horny before you go and watch like some of these videos and release? Like, if you're not horny, you're not like feeling the urge to do that, it's like, what are you doing, right? You're just releasing like valuable energy for no reason. So the whole idea is to get to a point where you realize, okay, yeah, I'm feeling some energy, it's building up, it feels good, let me go do something besides release by myself, right? I don't always have to release by myself. I can go outside and play some basketball, or I can talk to some females, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that it's going to lead to anything, guys, but just conversing with people or just being out in nature sometimes is enough to ground you. Now, if it's like a crazy urge, you can't do anything about it, don't resist it, guys. Like, just handle your business, end up releasing, guys. Like a lot of guys are so like concerned with not releasing, especially on their journeys, that they feel like they lose progress because of that. It's like, no, the progress is within also releasing too. So you have to understand that it's a push and pull kind of a effect, guys. It's like you're gonna end up releasing, you're gonna end up retaining. That's literally how everybody is in this world. Like that's a man, right? Even women, you know what I mean? So and not in like the term of retaining her, semen, but yeah, women do have it's kind of strange to say this, but women have semen too, I'm pretty sure. Like that's what I've been told. So now, I haven't done all my research. I don't know everything, guys, but I'm hearing this from other YouTube creators, and some of them are very knowledgeable in what they're talking about. It's like I try not to get too deep into certain things, but there's energies in, male and female, and it depends on how you view things, and it depends on how much you really know. Since I've learned so much about retention, I understand that the ideal for most men, like I've said before in the last video, is to retain, be celibate probably. You know what I mean? What the guy was talking about, it made a lot of sense to me. Be celibate for a certain amount of time, right? So you're not exactly suppressing your animalistic side. Like you're not getting to the point where you don't use it ever, but you're getting to the point where you can control it now, and then go out and find a potential female or a mate, right? And then you ramp things up, but then you can control it. You can have moments, you know what I mean, where you don't engage with your woman in intimate way, guys. So you have more of a balance, and there's more of a synergetic relationship that you guys will have, instead of you just wanting to sleep with her all the time, because there's no reason for you to be doing that all the time, guys. Doing that too much, it wastes too much energy. If you think about it from a logical standpoint, you gotta get.
Where are you? I'm leaving to go to Glorious.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, from an energetic standpoint, guys, getting busy with a woman all the time is not ideal, guys. Ideally, that's too much energy wasted. You got to eat food, you got to replenish, you just released, you know what I mean? That takes a lot of zinc that your body has to or that you have to digest. So walnuts and whatever, fish and things like that, you got to constantly be eating in order to replenish some of the lost nutrients and vitamins. And they say that there's not much that's lost, but if you realize that, including the engaging, you know what I'm saying, guys, getting busy. I know my channel's kind of funny here, but I talk about a lot of different things, and I really know a lot about this now. So once I learn something new, I always try to integrate it into my videos, and so you guys can understand that retention is something that is more of a lifestyle than just something that you just pick up for a little while and then you put down. It's something that you should be doing just because you want to know how to control your sexual energy. And when you know how to control your sexual energy, then go out and find yourself a potential partner. So then you can have a kid with them, right? That's the goal here, guys, is that you can have a kid, then you can retain, and you can, build your energy back up and use that energy in other parts of your life. So you're not sluggish, or you're not tired, or you know what I mean? You can help out your wife as she's, as her belly's growing bigger or whatnot, or even when the kid is born. Obviously, you're going to need that extra energy to fuel you through life, guys. So if you're always doing it, you're going to have a tough time. And it's not that you can't do all these things without retention. It just makes the ride a bit smoother. You know what I mean? It makes it a bit smoother because you have that extra energy. You know what I mean? If you're a guy who doesn't want to have kids, right? You're a guy who doesn't plan on really being with a woman long term and being married and whatnot, guys. And it's also beneficial for you simply because that you have understanding of your own energy, and you can go and you can use it in a better manner than just walking around being like this sexual being all the time and wanting to sleep with every woman that you practically see that's halfway good looking. Sometimes you might end up sleeping with a woman who isn't so good looking just because you don't have control over your sexual energy, guys. Like, that often happens to a lot of guys. And if you don't have control over releasing, then you might end up having kids with a woman that you didn't want to have kids with. You get what I'm saying, guys? So controlling your sexual energy is an important thing. And, you'll start to realize once you make it past day 7, because most guys don't make it past day 7, that you are going to get used to the energy. You're going to be able to utilize the energy. You're going to be able to do runs and stuff like that in the morning to move the stagnant energy, or even a walk sometimes is enough. People are going to look at you in a different light. They're going to look at you as a more mature man, because you just have that energy to you. You act more mature usually if you're not releasing all the time. You're not releasing all your testosterone. The more you control and contain your testosterone, and you understand how it works and flows through your body, and you understand that the hormones and your pheromones play a big part in attracting females, then you're good to go, man. So in this video, I know that I talked a little bit lower, and just trying to conserve some of my energy. It's a very hot day, guys. It's about 100 degrees today. Stay cool out there, guys, and try to get active. If you're outdoors, hit the pool or something like that, or stay hydrated and stuff. And I want you guys to always stay on your journeys and have a blessed day, and peace out. Like and subscribe if you want, and have a good one.